my God. It's 4th of July right now, and people are shooting fireworks, but we're Canadians. We don't celebrate 4th of July. So I don't know who these people are shooting fireworks right now. Goddamn. Nightman. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Iamtongue, and today we are going to talk about some tips you can use right now to better improve your low light portraits. So low light portraits have been my specialty for several years now. I am known on Instagram for my dark, moody, vibrant, colorful portraits. So for any doubters out there that thinks I'm just another dude on YouTube that doesn't know what he's talking about, that could be me, but let's find out. Before I begin, in order for these tips to work, you guys need to shoot in RAW. All cameras have this. Don't be shooting in JPEGs, or you're not going to have that flexibility to edit them in post. So let's begin with tip number 1. You must have a fast lens, and what I mean by that is a lens that can shoot wide aperture anywhere from f1.4 to f2.8. You want that wide aperture so that the lens can gather in as much light as it can. The name of the game for low light portraits is light. We're going to need lots of light so we can properly expose our models. So tip number 2, you want to shoot at the lowest ISO as possible. The higher the ISO, the more noise it's going to be introduced. What noise is going to do is it's going to make your photos look ugly. It's going to make it look muddy. It's going to make the photo look distracting. So I recommend not going past ISO 3200. Lately, these Fujifilm cameras that I've been using, I can push it 6400, but that also depends on your threshold and your tolerance for ISO, okay? So I'm just gonna leave that out there. And I know some of you guys think that you guys need to have full frame cameras to shoot really good low light shot. Although that is true, I also think that this is a limited belief on you as a photographer. You can do just the same with crop censored bodies, okay? So don't believe the full frame hype, the propaganda that these full-frame elitists are spewing. Aside from the medium format that I used to have by Fujifilm, the rest of the camera lineup from Fuji is crop. They're all crop, they're all APS-C cameras. And I've been shooting low-light portraits on their system for years, and I have zero complaints. I also shot some neon portraits with a Micro Four Thirds system, and they turned out looking really, really good. So you wouldn't have guessed that's where it's from. And you know, it's about how you use your tools, not what kind of tools you have. Okay, number 3. You also want to shoot at a slower shutter speed. This allows more light to come into the photos, okay? But be careful, if you don't have a steady hand, your photos are going to look soft because of the motion blur. So make sure it's slow enough where you feel comfortable holding it steady to still get that image looking sharp. Number 4. Be aware of your lighting situation in your surroundings. This is what I usually do when I'm out. I'm always looking for available lighting around my surroundings. This is going to help you with lighting up your subjects. A lot of people always ask me if I bring in any lighting setup, and the truth to that is no, I don't. Bringing in like a strobe with a diffusion modifier will hinder me. I don't want to carry it around everywhere, usually when I'm looking for spots downtown, and I'm doing a lot of walking, and bringing such a large equipment will only slow me down. And if I were to bring a strobe, people would be staring at me and the model, and I don't want that, okay? That's just uncomfortable for both parties. Check your surroundings. I usually look for like window lights. They are usually the brightest, especially in downtown Toronto. They have like big installations of LED signs just emitting lights, get the attention of customers. So I always try to look for some sort of street light, any kind of light. In this situation, beggars can't be choosers, right? You are roaming around town for lights. You take what you can get, and that's the fun in shooting low light portraits, in my opinion. You get to think outside the box and be creative with your lighting. And I'm constantly looking for different lighting situations to put the subject in. And once you have found a good lighting situation, you're going to want to place and angle the model in that light. In this part, I'm going to break down how I light my subjects with just lights around me that I use. This shot right here with my buddy Emmanuel, where the lights are coming from, it's coming from the right side. It's from a shop in Chinatown where you have all those LED installations just flashing. I just remember this light was being too bright to be close to the window. That's why the window isn't in the shot. So I had to tell him to take a couple of steps away from the window so that there's a better balance when it comes to exposing him. Mind you, we cannot control how much power that these lights are emitting. So this is where you're going to have to think outside the box and use the surroundings to your advantage. The lights in the background, the traffic lights, becomes this colorful little bokeh balls that adds to the photo. Sometimes the light you're going to get isn't as strong, so you want to tell the model to come in closer to the light. This will create more of an intimate portrait. Take a look at this shot with Joanna. This light is another light that we found at a shop in Chinatown. It had these small dinky lights, but it wasn't so strong. So what I did here was to tell her to get close enough and interact with the lights. Another example I have is this shot with Alyssa. I just remember seeing these little spotlights in this little alleyway downtown. If you look in the back, you can probably make out that these lights were intended for the trash. It was probably for the employees to go take out the trash at the end of the night. You see these two lights shining from the left and the right side. And I saw this and I thought, I like how this light sort of leads your eyes right into Alyssa. This shot was taken somewhere at like 9 p.m. Probably like a year ago. Yeah, it's probably almost a year ago. And if you can take a look at Alyssa's glasses, you'll see the reflection. And if anyone knows downtown Toronto, that is the light from the H&M door. Those huge white panels that emit that bright light that you can take advantage of, okay? And I would like to believe that this panel had some help in making Alyssa sort of nicely lit for this photo. Again, be aware of your surroundings and use them to your advantage. Okay, so the last shot I'm going to explain. So notice this shot right here with my buddy Thomas. You see this Chinese decorative stand thingy? There's only one light, and that is the spotlight shining directly down. I saw a composition that I liked. With lighting like this, you're not going to get a look that is flattering at all. Overhead lighting gives you a harsh look. This kind of light gives you that scary ominous vibes. So I played that to my advantage, okay? So I had him pose the way he did by looking down just to give him that mysterious look because of the light that was given to me in Chinatown. This is what I mean, beggars can't be choosers. You find these lights in your areas and then you get to be creative and you think outside the box, and it's not conventional at all. Different lightings have different white balances, and then going from one scene to another or having one scene at this white balance, it's not gonna look well with the other background. That's why I like shooting low light portraits so much, because you never know what you're gonna get. And that's part of the fun, that's part of the journey, that's part of the process. And last but not least, so experiment with your camera, know your limitations on the camera, know how far you can push your camera before the images break down. I know my Fuji cameras have good shadow recovery, so whenever I go out and I shoot in low light, I'm always exposing for the highlight, because I know once I am post-processing, I can lift up my shadows and still come out with good looking, clean images. I know some of you guys will have entry-level cameras with shitty dynamic range, And in this situation, I'm going to tell you there are always ways around it. I would bring these foldable reflectors and bounce that light back onto the subject. I would bring these small LED lights here. Here are some Yongnuo LED lights you can get on Amazon. I think this is about like $100. I would use the flash on your phone sometimes if you're in a pinch, you know, just to get the face exposed. Another thing I would say is to improve on your editing skills. Post-processing, know how to balance exposure, know how much to sharpen, know how much noise reduction is needed for low light portraits are a few examples. And again, know how far you can push your raw files. When you know how far you can push your raw files, you will be a lot more comfortable shooting outside in low light. You'll know what maximum ISO is good enough. You'll know how it handles highlights and darks, and that comes with many shoots and many mistakes and lots of practicing. And again, don't forget to experiment and, you know, just have fun out there, okay? Like, I find that a lot of times nowadays people are just afraid of making mistakes, and, you know, they're afraid of, you know, looking silly. If you don't make mistakes, how are you going to learn? I know this sounds so cliche, but like, if you want to get good at something, you're going to have to put in the work and, you know, just experiment, okay? The reason why I got better at low light neon shots is because of all the experimenting I do. There are times where, you know, going on Lightroom and then just messing around with the calibration, just sliding it left and right, and then I just get a different look because of the colors. So something like that is just me just looking around and just experimenting, because there's no rules to this. I hope you guys enjoyed these 5 tips. I think it was 5 tips. And if you guys think this video was helpful, do like this video. Probably share this video if you don't mind. And also comment on this video. Let me know your thoughts. And if you have any questions, leave them down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment? Oh my God. And also, don't forget to follow me on my socials. Follow me on Instagram and follow me on Twitter. I'm on Twitter now again. Once again, my name is Tongue, and I'll see you in the next video. I love you. Okay, bye. Guys, if you guys don't know right now, I have like some bad, serious lisps. Nightman. This is probably one of my favorite episodes. If you guys haven't already, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Best show. Best show.